Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker with me, Borden. Right, we're here. I need to remember what the hell we were doing though. Right, so we're here in Patax. We've got to find out, we've got to go to our journal, I think, find out what we need to do. So we had our showdown with Irovetti. We had to change the... Remember we had to change the difficulty in order to get it to work, but finally it worked. Now... The River's Justice, War the River Kings... So that's done. I think all of that, pretty much everything seems done. So what do we have left? Highborn Heart. Okay, so maybe Octavia's family. We could do that. Norman Slave. I know his one is not in Patax. It's, I think we've seen the camp before, maybe. And meet with the elves in their camp. Some elves camping not far from the borders of the kingdom. Sends a letter demanding that we hand over. Yeah, we haven't done the Jaital. We did it before, but we haven't done it again yet. Because we were worried about... the timing to actually get the Patax thing done. Then Onslaught. Onslaught was divided into 3 parts and sold to 3 different merchants. It's supposed to be reclaimed, so the dragon can restore the armor. Yeah, that's going to be a long-term thing there, I think. Okay, and then that one we got to do with him as well. Oh, excuse me. Because apparently he has the last book on him, so we'd have to go visit him. But yeah, for now, let's see if we can find... Let's see if we can find her mum, I guess. Where's that to? Area exit to the palace halls. Area exit. Okay, so let's see who's here that we can talk to. Okay, can we chat with you at all? No? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. So where is her mum gonna be then? Let's go. Let's leave there, go into the palace, and see what's changed, if anything. And I think I've reset the difficulty to standard, but that's something I need to check as well. It's one of the disadvantages of batch recording. Well, kind of there are pros and cons. So the pros are obviously that you can record for a batch and you can kind of be in the story and be more present for a number of episodes in a row. But then there's this whole thing where you record in a batch, so then you have a while before you're going to record again. And then there can be a bit of a disconnect there. Because it can be difficult to find regular times, just record one at a time as well. Okay, so knowledge arcana.
Anything else?
Okay. I think maybe we just need to move the story on then. Because we come in here, there isn't going to be anything down here, I don't think. Because his body and stuff is here, right? Yeah, that's his assistant or wherever she was. Yeah, okay. Yes, there's not really much that we can do. If we check the map, that goes to the King's Chambers. We've been there already. That goes to storage, to Arveti's Palace, to the Armory, to the Torturer's Chamber. We've been to all those places, yeah. So I guess you just have to leave here. Maybe head back to our own capital. But it kind of feels like a waste of a journey if we don't talk to her mother. Maybe we can go to a different... Let's try the other exit and do it that way. Let's leave here. We leave all that stuff behind. Because I know we have gone to the college as well, right? And there were some people protesting there, and we did some stuff there as well. So maybe we just need to go back to our capital. And but then how do we talk to our mother? I'm just afraid that if we claim their capital, then it changes the way the thing did with the Stag Lord with our own capital. Then maybe we lose the opportunity to do that. A little bit of zoning and hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. Okay, so you still can't talk to you. You got guards here. You got... There was one bandit left from your guys. Okay, we'll go over this way. Got just citizens there. Okay, so this is the other exit. Okay, I think this is going to put us straight back on the road. Okay, so we've got the academy. We had the main square. How about we go... Let's go to the port then. Let's see what we find there. So we've got a merchant. Hey there, buddy. What do you got to say? Show me your wares. Right, do we have crap that we can sell to you? It looks like it. The Plat of Splendid Glory. That's the only thing you're selling. That sounds like a very religious book. Maybe it's not, but that's what it sounds like to me. Sell anything then that isn't special. And keep the others just in case. Okay, we'll buy one of those, I guess. Just the one, please. Make that deal. Okay.
Onwards.
Oh, sure, we'd have to have Octavia with us anyway to talk to her mother, right? I guess we'll take those. There isn't really much of the docks area, is there? Let's check over this way, maybe a little bit more. Okay, blocked off there. You got some stuff to check there. There is...
No stopping now.
Okay, there's an inn here. Let's have a look in the inn. first mate, Weller. A dark-haired middle-aged man with a sailor's gait, trimmed beard and a grumpy face is blocking your way. Ma'am, my name is Weller, and it's my honour to serve as the first mate aboard a pirate ship called the Prestigious. I'd like to ask you for a favour. Help me save my merry crew of sea dogs from drowning in the bottoms of their bottles. Can I count on your help? Without you, my crew will drown in drunkenness and decadence. What's he babbling about? I thought pirates were tough fighters. You know, feisty guys on ships. These are just drunks and rattlebrains. A pirate names himself such from the start, then has the audacity to ask for help. Life in the river kingdoms is insane. They really need a change. What's your problem? Weller grimly points at the drunken pirates. There, our crew has placed an order. A wizard named Blackmore agreed to create a grimoire for us. A book, but more, a masterpiece of art. We're supposed to meet him at this tavern 2 or 3, several days ago, but he hasn't shown up. Worse, we have no idea where we should look for him. Blackmore is an extraordinary man, full of amazing stories, but he's jealous of his solitude. In truth, if the whole crew stays here drinking, waiting for him for days upon days, and if it goes on like that, why, we lose our image as honest pirates. What respected client would want to hire us then? It's long past time for us to set sail, but Captain Martin will hear nothing of it. He won't leave without the book. I need your help. I have to overthrow the captain and take command, but I'm not the most popular man in the crew. If Martin is like an amusing and irresponsible father for the sailors, I'm the strict mother ready to put her rolling pin to use. I need someone who can persuade the sailors to take my side. There aren't many who support me now, just those who want to fill our sails with sudden winds. It's true, we live in the age of decline and decadence. I'd wager you're curious what you'll stand to gain. I'll answer you. Robin raids are a thing of the past for this ship and our crew. We'll dedicate ourselves to trading elite art pieces. This is a highly profitable business, and that's just as true for anyone drawing taxes from our vessel. If you help me, then after I become captain, I'll pursue this business under your banner. But this will only work if I'm captain. I can't speak for Martin. He's always preferred robbery over honest trade. Aren't you worried that I might reveal your plans to the captain? No, I'm not. For many years I've kept this crew afloat. Both our ship and our business. If I don't overthrow the captain, in a few weeks there won't be any crew left. Answer me this about Blackmore and the grimoire. I'm ready to tell you whatever you wish, if it helps you to help us. Tell me about the grimoire. Weller spits grimly. Not much to be told. It's a book. It's big and beautiful, covered with calligraphy. Knowing Blackmore, I'd bet it's full of magical surprises. But its main value lies in the perfection of the visual aesthetics. Weller smirks. I sound like an artist, don't I? As you can see, throughout the years I've become well versed in matters of art. I'm practically grown to love it. Who's this Blackmore? I've heard many accounts. Don't believe any of them. Let's just say Blackmore is a living phenomenon. If you listen to him for 5 minutes, you'll hear the most impossible stories and dreamer's mind could even produce, or ever produce. But at the same time, he's an extraordinarily gifted wizard and a skilled artist. I can attest to that personally, I'm pleased to say. I've no more questions. I've got a question about your line of work. What exactly would you like to know? Tell me about your ship, the Prestigious. You won't find a more glorious pirate ship anywhere. We're not some pathetic bandits who attack fishermen and cargo ships full of cabbages. The Prestigious chases only art. Pieces of art, I mean. I was never a big admirer of art, but when I learned how much the nobles are willing to pay for it, their aesthetics and beauty just overwhelm me. Usually, we've been selling most of our loot to the King Ivoretti. Speaking of which, Blackmore's grimoire was commissioned by Arvetti too. Not that contract has lost its force, but the captain believes we still have a deal with Blackmore. So we have to collect the book anyway. The stubborn, decadent herring. How did you become a pirate? It's a long story. Once I was a yeoman in Rostland. But when House Ragarvia, when all those things happened with the House Ragarvia, I raised anchor and took off in an instant. I could feel upheaval coming, just like I can feel the wind shift northwest at midnight. Back in the Dead Bridge, I met Captain Martin, who was recruiting a new crew. The crew soon grew to believe that it was my responsibility to, to arrange things, to manage everything. The captain is good at strategic planning, but he's not so skilled in questions of discipline. On this prestigious, I listened to the captain, and the crew listened to me, but it only works so long as I don't contradict Martin. Let's leave that for now. We've more important things to discuss. Okay. We'll talk later. I'm counting on you. Fair winds. Okay, there's Captain Martin there. Who else is in here? Bloodmund. These guys are just pirates. Okay. Got more pirates there. Doesn't seem to be anybody behind the bar. Okay. Oh, there is. There's the innkeeper there. He's not exactly behind the bar, though. The grumpy halfling tavern keeper stares at you gloomily. His voice sounds indifferent as he recites his memorized greetings. Greetings from the best tavern of attacks. How may I help you? How are you doing? Your guests behaving themselves? Has my dear lady tragically lost her eyesight? Can't you see what's going on? The pirates will soon tear this tavern apart, board by board, and the guardsmen don't dare come in here. How are things going in the city? The tavern keeper winces. Great. King Iretti is dead. Long live the Queen Renee. A whole new life, except for the same old thieves and the same drinking and refusing to work. Otherwise everything is just grand. Well, we'll talk next time. Come back again. Good riddance. You're nice. But I like it. Right, let's have a chat with Captain Martin then. A tall, confident man stands before you, wearing a fancy hat and a charming smile. Ah, visitors. And whom do I have the pleasure of addressing? My name is Captain Martin. There have been so few new faces in the tavern recently, for some reason. Can I be of any use to you? What are you doing here? We have a rendezvous with a most outstanding artist, but he's rather late. My crew need a way to blow off some steam, or their bloodthirst will get the better of them. Is there any way you can help me? You see, not so long ago I commissioned a wizard named Blackmore to create a grimoire. It should be an amazing book, a masterpiece of calligraphy and fine art. Blackmore is a phenomenal genius and author of some mighty tall tales. Alas, punctuality is not one of his virtues. He's not much good with people at all. Blackmore has lived too long a hermit. In fact, we don't know where he lives, but if you ever cross the paths with him and you can somehow bring back the grimoire to us, my gratitude would be immense. And of course, we'll immediately set off without disturbing the peace of these good citizens. I have a question for you as a ship captain and seafarer. The captain adjusts the rapier on his belt with a swaggering gesture. Our ship has visited every single port in the world. I know a few things that'll surprise you. I've never heard of you. Who are you? Haven't you heard? Perhaps you're not interested in art. I'm the famous Captain Martin, commander of the pirate ship Prestigious. We are masterpiece hunters, art thieves, and welcome guests in the houses of collectors and connoisseurs of beauty. I admit, King Irevetti himself hosted me at the palace more than once, and he's always been satisfied with my gifts. Tell me about your crew. Oh, our crew is a team of extraordinary ladies and gentlemen. Callus, that elf who was picking a fight so gracefully when you entered. He's a true master of boarding fights. A senior sailor, Shagnak, is quite funny and witty fellow, like no one else. Of course, sometimes his orc half prevails, and his tricks start posing a danger to others. But everyone has some flaws, right? Barbarm is a true dwarf and a natural-born ship's treasurer. His budget always squares with the treasury, although one time he strangled a sailor because the treasury couldn't cover his salary. But in the end, his budget was spot on. Over there in the corner, that's Bloodmund. I've never met a more gloomy and rude man. They say he was once a crewman on the Ship of the Damned, but I wager that's all just a tall tale. And of course, let's not forget my first mate, Weller. He's my right hand, a man of impeccable loyalty. And don't tell anyone I told you, but he's a great fan of art. It's a pity he hides his passion, though we all know about it, of course. Martin winks conspiratorially at you. So he has a very different opinion of Weller than Weller has of him. Tell us more about your travels. That would be a long story. I can say without exaggeration that no sea in the world we haven't sailed. I've traded with the Kelesites, talked with the sages of Absalom, and traded gorgeous canvas masks from the Garund Aborigines for rum, fought off Ulfin raiders who come in the middle of the night, howling like wolves. I participated in the regatta organised by the Aspis Consortium, taking an honourable second, and only because of the dishonest ploys of my rivals, the Hurricane King himself, Captain Kurdak Bonefist, leader of the Free Captains and ruler of the Shackles, gave me that magnificent rapier as a gesture of respect. I'll listen to your stories later. We're not gonna pick a side just yet. Well, farewell then. You can always find me again on this drunken sandbar. Of course, till the east winds spirits us away. Haha. Okay, and let's go talk to Bloodmund, Mr. Rude. Grim man with long brown hair and an unpleasant face is drinking in the corner alone. He doesn't seem to be pleased with your attention. What do you want, missy? Who are you? Who are you? I'm a pirate, a sailor and a prestigious, just a sailor. Sailor Bloodmund, if it pleases you. Satisfied? What do you think of your stay ashore? Haha! We should never have relied on Blackmore's punctuality. He's a special person, that one, but never expect him to know what time it is. As for me, I don't care so long as there's enough beer. You talk about Blakemoor with such confidence. Do you know him well? Bloodmund winces, realizing that he said more than he intended. By the Kraken! Okay, just stop yelling. Please lower your voice, missy. I'll tell you, but it's just between the two of us, okay? I was Blackmore's apprentice after I placed his former servant, a deaf-mute kobold. I used to visit him. He even gave me the key to his hideout, but now some of them, mostly First Mate Weller, are angry with Blakemoor. If they find out that I'm friends with him, they'll pay him a visit and take that stupid book. And Blakemoor, he very much dislikes intrusions. Where does he live? And why should I tell you? Like I just said, Blakemoor doesn't like guests. Okay, let's see. Plus 21 for that. Plus 23. Either way, we're gonna have to do this because we can't actually pass either of those with a d20. Because my goal is looking for a new owner. 10,000 coins. We must have 10,000 coins, right? I hope. Bloodmund takes a goal with a lazy gesture. That's quite an offer. You rarely meet a stranger who cares so much about your own concerns. In the wink of an eye, the sailor pulls out a map and pokes it with his finger. It's here. Middle of nowhere has been revealed. Great. Give me the key. This is my key. Why do I give it to you? Oh, curious one. Oh god, we have to pay for the key as well, okay. I'm ready to pay 10,000. In a single movement, Bluntman manages to take your money and leave the key in its place. Though a second ago his hands were quite empty. Okay, so we get that. Cheers for that, buddy. Why are you sitting here alone? Because I don't need company. That's a hint in case you didn't notice. The sailor sighs heavily. Why is it that when a person drinks alone, everyone wants to join him? Over there's a whole crew of sailors eager to share their tales. Okay, well, we leave it to it, buddy. Farewell. Ah, yes. Okay. So, interesting. We got ourselves completely sidetracked with this, but it seems like something fun, so we're definitely going to follow up on it. So it's time for us to leave, and then we want to get ourselves over to the exit. Okay, let's leave. And now we do want to exit this time. So we'll come back later and check it when we have Octavia and Ragongar. We'll come back and do their stuff. And then Jaital, we're gonna have to switch you out soon as well. That won't be fun. Right, so middle of nowhere. Interesting.
Irafeti was dead, and good riddance. Our ruler added the crown of Pitax to the crown of the Stolen Lands. But behind the dead monarch loomed the shadow of a much more dangerous foe.
Ooh, okay, we've got looming shadows. So what we've got here now? Still meet Octavia's mother, okay. So maybe if we bring Octavia, there'll be like a cutscene with her. Probably, it would make sense, right? Middle of nowhere isn't that far off. Then we get the ornate runes, which we won't do just yet. Okay, so let's head towards the middle of nowhere. 7 hours travel there. Okay, and then we'll go up here a bit. Right, and then we'll camp. I'm sure people need some rest.
Why do people write everything down? Memory is firmer than paper.
You
Not sure about that.
can't borrow someone else's memory and read it in a library. Besides, memories die with their owners, while books keep living. Well, maybe not forever, but definitely longer than their authors.
Sometimes longer than their authors. Let's be honest about that. Okay, now let's pop over this way and we'll enter. Okay, now let's check around here. Probably gonna get attacked by something. Oh, interesting. Right, well, before we go in, we'll check the rest of the map. Doesn't seem to be much of the map, but it's always good to have a quick scout around. Maybe we'll find something secret.
What's that?
Like this, yeah. Okay. Oh, and look at this. Dead guy as well. Sky metal and dinosaur bones. Wow. Thanks for that, buddy. We can check over here. Okay, and then come back
It is done.
to the center. Okay, now let's check this door. A solid door blocks your entrance. The owner clearly doesn't care for uninvited guests. Okay, well, we do have the key, but I want to try knocking politely first. Nothing happens. Okay, well, let's use the key then. The door quietly swings open. Okay, in we go. He's not going to be happy to see us, but hey ho. Most places we go into, the occupants are not happy to see us anyway. Okay, there's probably going to be lots of traps down here. If it's someone who doesn't
Follow
like to be
me.
disturbed. Oh, there he's there. A large and broad man turns to you, trying to smooth his thick, tousled hair. His deep voice could have belonged to a giant. Hey, who are you? I'm a fan. Captain Martin sent me. For a moment, the man stares at you blankly, then smiles and heaves a sigh of relief. Oh yes, Captain Martin. By all means, welcome to the dwelling of Blakemoor the wizard. How can I help you? What are you doing here? This humble dwelling is my workshop. It's where I'm creating my masterpiece, the Majestic grimoire, a calligraphic work of art. The client who ordered it is my good friend Captain Martin. Oh, he must be getting so impatient by now. I'm so far behind schedule. I just want the grimoire to be perfect, you see. I'd like to learn more about you. Ha! Where should I start? I am Blakemoor the wizard. I've seen many things and been to many places, from the northern realm of the Mammoth Lords to Hot Katapesh, and even to the more exotic places, such as the First World. He just told us why we... He's been to the First World. Ask him, have you ever been to the First World? Okay. Have you ever been to the First World? I got into the First World by chance, but in spite of that, it was easy for me to find a job there. I was soon substitute rector at a rather remarkable academy, which was located on the back of an elephant with 3 eyes and numerous tusks. Actually, the elephant had served as the former rector before he caught a rare elephantine disease. I moved on once he recovered. Seeking new purpose, I wound up in the sin market, where I made a bargain and came away with a fair amount of dangerous curiosity, and on top of that, a sack of tobacco, generously mixed with dirty thoughts, 4 to 1, a horrible mixture to smoke. But my purchases didn't make me happy. Soon after, my curiosity, together with a swarm of my good friends, the squirrels, helped me to discover that one of the eldest, the Lantern King, was playing a dirty trick on another Eldar, Shika, by assuming her form and visiting her. Chronomistress Shika always carefully avoided meeting herself, and she'd been jumping all over the timeline, like the water strider across the surface of the pond, because the Lantern King was assuming her form to trick her. After I revealed the game, I earned his unwanted attention, and it was time I left the First World for good. As a gesture of thanks, Shika opened a portal for me, but after I stepped in it, I saw that Shika's appearance had changed. In her place stood the Lantern King. It was not Galorian on the other side of the portal, but a far more dangerous place. How did you wind up in Kachapesh? I wound up in Kachapesh by pure chance. I was planning to sail further, but seasickness had overtaken me. Kachapesh is an amazing place, but I have little chance to enjoy it. In the heat of an argument, my then sweetheart decided to teach me a lesson. So she drugged me and sold me to the traveling nightmare circus. There I earned my keep as a sword swallower, and the crowd was just crazy about me, and it wasn't such a hard job to learn. Though it made things a bit more complicated that I had to use a real combat sword. I travelled with the circus until I got a chance to escape. A well-known captain, the Hurricane King, came to see one of our performances. He accused me of being a fake and challenged me to swallow this magnificent rapier, a weapon he cherished more than life itself. Hang on, didn't the Hurricane King give a rapier to Martin? Captain Martin? I thought. As the audience applauded, I performed a trick. It ended with my spectacular disappearance in a cloud of smoke. When the reprobate came to his senses and hurried to find me and his cherished rapier, I'd already sold it to an unscrupulous vendor and was heading north to flee his revenge. That's why I tried to stay away from the southern lands. What did you do in the north? While taking part in an expedition, quite contrary to my intentions, I found myself hunted by some barbarians. While trying to escape, I climbed up into the mountains, so high that the barbarians had to abandon their quarry to the mercy of the icy winds and avalanches. So I plodded across the highlands until I spotted a little light in the darkness. It turned out to be a tavern where a celebration was underway. The Highlanders weren't too happy to welcome an intruder, but they agreed to give me shelter if I beat them in a challenge. I noticed a sturdy fellow with a simple face, wrapped in a cloak, so I picked him to be my rival. The competition gluttony. The savage snatched my backpack, turned it inside out, and started to cram all my equipment into his mouth. In a short moment, the greedy Highlander had swallowed all my stuff, the backpack too, and gobbled down my axe for dessert. The barbarians were already making bets how long I would last out in the cold. Then I tore the mammoth's skull from the wall, broke off its tusks, and rushed for the huge barrel of beer that comprised the entire wall. I kicked out the cork and put the tusk under the rushing stream of beer. It filled it up like a drinking horn and started to gulp. My memories of the next hours are hazy. I vaguely remember the Highlanders being extremely angry at me for drinking all their beer. I remember how they started to turn into great beasts, and my rival became a wolf with blazing eyes. He charged me, but I caught him by his ears, shoved the mammoth's tusk in his mouth like a bit, and tied my mustache to both ends to form reins. He is really full of shit, isn't he? Enraged, the wolf rushed on into the night, with me firmly planted on his back. He ran through the blizzard, and the wild dog whined in anger and humiliation. In the morning he stopped running and fell exhausted. I looked around and realized there was not a single snowflake around. In the wild race we crossed the borders of Glorian and entered an amazing place, the ancestor of all other worlds. I took pity on the wolf and let him go. He ran away at once. As for me, many adventures and exploits still lay ahead. Mary listened to the story with suspicion, but in the end she roars with laughter. So that's who drank all the beer in that tavern. Our tribe like to say but there was that one time they had no beer and the mammoth's tusk was broken. But the thing about the werewolf owners, that's a lie. They're not werewolves, I should know. Mary looks back at you hesitantly, as though seeking support. But she's full of shit as well, so... How did you meet Captain Martin? The prestigious gave me transport after one encounter. Once One time I woke up in the middle of the night and went to look for the head, I think they call it. So I went down to the bilge and suddenly came face to face with elven banshees, screaming ghosts. They were preparing to devour my soul when I stopped them and offered to indulge them with conversation prior to the bloodbath. You won't believe it, but they proved to be most pleasant characters to converse with. Once all of them were elven virgins captured and enslaved by an evil slave-trading necromancer. The necromancer eventually perished, but the tormented souls of his tortured captives were bound to his ship's figurehead. Later the prestigious took this figurehead as a trophy. I felt pity for the banshees and decided to help them. I called upon one of the numerous sailor deities of death, and amid the storm he brought, I performed a sad song written by myself, hoping to touch his dead heart. And it's worth noting that none of the snoring pirates even woke up. The weeping deity set the banshees free, and they all turned into glowing ghostly maidens. To this day they sing in a world-famous choir, taking the guise of simple mortals. Why do you stay here? Are you hiding from someone? Only from my numerous fans. My enemies are terrified of me, even the mighty devils. Once, thanks to a certain vile entity, I ended up in hell, took the wrong portal. Long story short, I found myself in hell, and it was open season on my head. The devil Siraket was chasing me, and all I had to fight her off was a sack of low-quality tobacco, the fruit of the 100 sea winds, a deaf-mute kobold servant, and a sulphur which laid in such abundance all around. But that's more than enough to trick some clueless devils. When Siraket came for me, I used my gloomiest voice to recite the spell in a language I'd only just invented. On my signal, the kobold ignited the tobacco, the whole sack of it. The clouds of stinky smoke filled the air. I pretended to go into a fit. That was the second sign, and the kobold started to play his flute. Have you ever heard a deaf-mute kobold play the flute? The winds have truly gone wild. The final hurricane is descending, the end of all times. And the squirrels, my loyal friends, the squirrels started screeching in different voices from their hiding places behind the rocks. The overall effect was terrifying, I must admit. As for me, I spun a bit of magic to make the clouds of smoke look like the Devil Lord. With a booming voice, the illusionary figure praised me for my effort and gave me another task to create a grimoire, which would act as a gateway for devils into my world. Then the wind subsided and the smokes cleared out. After that, Siraket didn't dare lay a finger on me, fearing my master's revenge. Devils are extremely stupid after all. But there are more important things to discuss. You just wonder whether all of this is... It just sounds so crazy and made up. But there's that little thing of maybe some of it is true. I'm needed. Let's see. I'm needed of a wise advisor. Would you like to work for me? No, let's get the grimoire thing first. Perhaps it's time to finish the grimoire. Blackmore stares at the scattered pages with ill-concealed yearning. The book is almost finished. It's a phenomenal piece of work. All it needs is a couple of alterations. Everything must be perfect. Blakemoor's voice trembles. But it could come back in a... But if you could come back in a week, the book should be ready by then. I have almost no doubt about it. Let's try this one. So we're gonna... Yeah, we got... Oh, wait. We got a plus 31 for this. Yeah, let's try this one. Maybe I can help you finish the book. The light of hope flashes in Blakemoor's eyes. An excellent idea. Let's try. After many hours, you and Blakemoor stare at your creation. The grimoire finished. Perfect. Wow. Woohoo! We did it. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, the grimoire to let devils come into our... Yeah. Oh, oops. Is this... So you finally completed your work, Blakemoor. Unfortunately, you'll never have a chance to collect a reward from your master. So this is the devil that he was talking about, I guess. The grimoire that will open this world's gate to devils. It must belong to me. Give me the book and perhaps I'll spare your life. Uh-oh, that's not good. Did you leave the door unlocked? No, I spent too much time writing it. Get out, Siroket. Help me, my furious squirrels.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
The verdict is out. You're doomed. Something. Okay, but that's where we're going to leave that one. And we'll see what happens in the fight afterwards. So he obviously wasn't completely bullshitting. Just a little bit, maybe. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope to see you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you'll hit the subscribe button there on the right and check out some other videos here on the left.